So we're here in Naxxramas 10-man in Mists of Pandaria, and we've soloed this raid before in the Mists of Pandaria pre-patch at level 85, but we're back at level 90 with a slightly different goal. Before, we were just focused on getting the battle pets, because back then the battle pets were super duper valuable. So coming in and killing the bosses that drop battle pets was the goal. Today, we're just going to go for a full clear, see how much gold we can pull out of this instance, and most importantly, we're going to see if we can get some of the BOEs that drop in here. You know, Wrath of the Lich King raids all dropped BOE items, and I've found when I was soloing Ulduar that a lot of the BOEs that I got in Ulduar were able to sell for quite a lot of gold. Like a nice shield off of Hodir I can easily sell for 1,000 gold on my server. So that adds like quite a good amount of value to soloing these old raids. And I just haven't done Naxxramas very much, so I don't have a large volume of the BOEs from here. So I don't really know what drops in here BOE wise and what sells. And I think we just got a BOE off this very first boss right here. We got the Inexorable Sabatons BOE. Okay, so we'll have to check that out. They have appearance. Yep, okay. Hopefully that's a desirable appearance to someone, because that's what usually drives the value of these BOEs, is people buy them for transmog purposes. Anyways, the character I'm working with is my Death Knight, which I think might actually be my best geared character now, with 492 item level, playing Frost. Yeah, here's all the gear. We got the Nullification Great Helm recently, Soul Grasp Choker, Shoulders. We have 2-piece bonus of the tier set on this character, a Legion, Fanged Crescent. I do not think you need this level of gear. Like I said, I was able to do most of this stuff at level 85, so certainly you don't need this level of gear. I'm just showing you what I'm working with. Dark Mist Vortex. We were super lucky. The first Terrace of Endless Spring group I went into, bonus rolled on Lishai, third boss, however you pronounce that. Got the trinket first try. Love that. And then talent-wise, glyphs, not important, but talents, important. I really like using Death Siphon. I haven't used this very much for a lot of my Death Knight solos, but especially when I'm playing as Frost, I like having Death Siphon. It's a powerful healing ability. I think this is not very useful when you're playing Blood, because Blood Death Knight has a very powerful version of Death Strike with their mastery, and it's like, well, if you have a good Death Strike, you don't want to spend your Death Runes on, you know, Death Siphon, your talent thing, because you just want to spend them on more Death Strikes. But as Frost, I don't have a powerful Death Strike, so it makes sense to take Death Siphon and use it for healing. Like, watch this. As soon as I get a Death Rune up, I'll hit it, and you can see it heals me for quite a lot. Right here, boom, 68,000 heal off of that. But yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, the VOD recording, you'll be able to skip ahead to any of the bosses, and also at the very end, I'll do a whole like calculation of all the loot I got and what the market value of the loot is. So you can skip to the very end if that's what you want to see. But otherwise, for those of us watching live, let's I don't know, hope for some hype loot, so a bunch of BOEs. That's what we're looking for. Unfortunately, I think the battle pets that drop in here are like, you know, just like a couple hundred gold each on Benediction on my server. Death Hunter says, I'm assuming there aren't many pugs. Not today. We've been looking for Pug Mogushan Vaults or Pug Terrace of Endless Spring or Heart of Fear. Honestly, Heart of Fear is my least favorite, dude. That raid is... Dude, I just don't care about the bug people. The bug people in the raid, like, it's uninspiring, and some of the bosses are annoying. But yeah, I mean, I'd take any of those. It's fresh raid reset day here on the North American servers Tuesday. Haven't seen a raid pug all day. I mean, we've seen a lot of groups like this that are like recruiting for a guild or posting up for like, we're gonna run, you know, at 8 p.m. server or something. Pagani Outland, hello, how's it going? Says, hope you have a wonderful day. Here's a dad joke. Watch what you say around the egg whites. They can't take a yolk. I got you. I'll be careful around the egg whites. Okay, so we got the 2 spider bosses down. We got to do 4 wings, and then you can go... Actually, you can go into the final area without doing the 4 wings, but we're just going to do a full clear of the raid. Boom. Little death siphon. Some frosty strikes. Got him. Loot him. Alright, so this boss can drop a battle pet. It's like a clutch of dusty eggs, I think. Or dusty clutch of eggs. It's like a little spider pet that you can get here. Pop some cooldowns. Make sure I'm topped off. Waiting for the spiders to come out. Ooh, this is not ideal having this poison on me. It's gonna severely limit my healing. I'm gonna hit my Icebound Fortitude. It's gonna stun me here soon, I think. But I also think I will be okay. Yeah, okay, there's the stun. And we're fine. Everything's fine. What do we get? Cowl of the Perished, Undiminished Breastplate, Cloak of Averted Crises. So no BOEs, and we didn't get the battle pet either. Unlucky. But we did get 163 gold off of Maexxna. Let's go Abomination Wing next. Abomination Wing, we might have to go Blood Specialization for Patchwerk. That might be a thing, but we'll try it at least once as Frost to see if we can make it work. Because going Blood, you know, just means we do way less damage and kill it slower. The safe bet is definitely going Blood. But if I can hit it, if I can get it done as Frost, that's what I want to do. These slimes are like stuck in the floor or something. Okay. There. Actually, wait, there's an alternative. Wait. There's a very fun way to do it as Blood, actually, which is actually what we should do. You know what? Actually, this way might actually be better in the long run. So originally what I was going to do was I was going to go over and individually clear all of the trash packs and then come over to Patchwerk. Because when you pull Patchwerk, all the ads in the room aggro you. And if I was Frost, it would absolutely 100% kill me for sure, not even close. But as Blood, they can't do anything to me, and I'm just gonna AoE them down alongside the boss. And maybe, all things together, this might end up being faster. And that's the goal here, to get in and out of Naxx, pull as much gold out of here, as much transmog and BOE items as we can, as fast as possible. You can see all the trash mobs are dead already, and it barely dented my health. Patchwerk's down to 50%. I'm no longer going to have as much vengeance now that all those mobs are dead, but I'm glad I thought of this, because this I think is definitely the way to do it, is you just go Blood and then pull the whole room like this. Which I don't think you could do as Frost. Probably do it at high enough item level. Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, if you can mow the mobs down with like a couple of Owling Blasts... But you don't have, like, the sustenance to, like, actually take damage from that many mobs. What do we get? Fool's Trial. BOP Necklace. Fleshless Girdle. Gloves of Calculated Risk. Okay, not exactly what we wanted. Go back to Frost. Should be able to handle that for the rest of the instance. Now, my character, normally my Death Knight is a male Draenei. But we were just going over to farm Ashes of Alar, and we got a transporter malfunction while using my Dimensional Ripper Area 52. So I got turned into a female Draenei instead for the next 28 minutes. Some would say lucky, others would say unlucky. Just depends on your perspective. I'm gonna hit a nice little Army of the Dead. We're gonna blast down Grobbulus. Here comes his crew. I'm gonna move back here so I don't accidentally get, like, knocked into the first room. I think these mobs have a little knockback. I want to make sure that's not pushing me somewhere I don't want to be. There we go. What do we got? Twilight Mist, Dagger, Grim Toll, Trinket, Bracers of Liberation, new transmog. Okay. BOPs, though. All BOPs. Okay, Gluth next. This one has a potential battle pet that can come from it. And we're filling up our inventory. After this run, it's nice about Naxxramas is you can zone in and out of it pretty easily. We can zone right out, go on our Traveler's Tundra Mammoth, and vendor off all the BOP stuff we have. Oh, I didn't actually go back into Frost Presence. Oopsies. He's gonna eat this zombie. That's okay. Take him down. Almost got him. There we go. Nice. Gluth, Cowl of the Perished, and Leggings of the Lost Conqueror. Okay. How's your connection, mate? Good for today. No drop frames yet today. Alright, this boss is a little funky. Normally you're supposed to keep these two mobs on their separate platforms and kill them, but obviously we can't do that because I'm only one person. So what happens is this guy just walks. I'm gonna sit here healing myself till the other one shows up. Not doing a whole lot of damage intentionally. Alright, now again, Disease Siphon. Oh, I think I did too much damage. Okay, I have to super burst this one. That might be too far apart. Let's see. They both die. I think we're good. Jumping. Yep, the coils overload. That's what you want to have happen. Alright, now it's Thaddius time. Yeah, so you got to kill those guys within, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds of each other, or else they will resurrect. Now, this is the best way to get the polarity achievement. Normally, you have a bunch of people here. Some people get positive, some people get negative. There's an achievement in the game to never cross the wires and never have a negative person next to a positive person, which is basically impossible in any actual group. So, you know, no one could ever get that achievement in Naxxramas. And now that we can solo it and literally remove the possibility of crossing wires because there's only one person in the entire raid, now we can all get this achievement, which I think I already have on this character, so I'm not sure if it's going to pop up here. Yeah, I must already have it. All right, Cincture of Polarity, BOP, Leggings of Vanquisher, also BOP. Let's see. So let's teleport to the center. And we're going to pop out of the raid really quick, vendor off a bunch of this stuff, then come back in. We got it when we did Nax. Yeah, but... Okay, I'm making a joke, you guys. It's very hard to coordinate a bunch of people to actually do the polarity mechanic correctly. Okay, BOP... or gray. We want to vendor everything that's either BOP or gray. Not this thing, though. This is a good item. I need that. Oh, I got a lot of greens, I guess. More greens than I get in most raids. Those, I always send them away to my enchanter to disenchant them. I'm fucking kicking Nemo off. I always use the other vendor because if you talk to Hakmud, he doesn't make weird noises every time you vendor something. Whereas if you talk to Nemo, he makes weird noises every time you vendor something, and it's annoying. Let's see. 1 range DPS for 10-man heroic toes, 10-man heroic guild run at 9 to 12 p.m. 2 tanks for heroic toes at 7 p.m. Okay, so there's still no groups, like, actually going right now. Immune. Can you craft polar pieces for the transmog? Yes. If you have a character that has the old recipes and you can find someone who has the old materials, you can still craft polar items, but you can no longer learn the recipes and you can no longer source the materials for the old level 60 frost resistance stuff. Like, my rogue, I'm pretty sure, has the polar recipes for leatherworking. Maybe only the leather ones. I don't know if I even learned the male ones on that character. But I would need to find someone who has a bunch of frozen runes from old Naxxramas to be able to make those. But you can, if your goal is for a transmog, you can get a lot of look-alike items nowadays with the same model as those old polar pieces. Like, I'm kind of hoping we get some of the plate frost resist items, because I think that could be a good look for a frost DK. I've got, like, a really good red transmog, red and, like, lava themed. It's like nice for, you know, it's on point if I was playing Blood DK. I've got the nice green transmog that I'm using right now that would be like really nice and on point for Unholy. But I don't really have a nice like blue or frosty type of looking armor set for this character. Yet I pretty much exclusively play the character in Frost. Do you still need to freeze the slime boss in AQ to kill it for the pet? I believe so, yes. But you can do that pretty easily with the new Elemental Force enchant. People, you know, to my understanding, people don't have a lot of issue with killing that boss if you can come prepared. Oh, that guy died in back from my Howling Blast. So this is what I was talking about a little bit before. This area, if you came in here and you only killed Noth the Plaguebringer, oh, I got Inevitable Defeat. Okay, nice. If you only killed Noth the Plaguebringer, and then you went here, you could kill all these trash mobs, and then, I don't know the exact process, but you could zone out and reset the instance in some way, and then come back and just kill all these trash mobs again. And you could see, I get a lot of stuff from killing them. There's a lot of stuff being gotten. So, pretty decent potential as a gold farm. Tier 10 normal for Frost. Is tier 10 the Firelands set? I think I've seen that. It's called like Magma Forged or something, which is a really weird name for the set when it's all like frosty and blue looking. If that's the one you're thinking of. I don't know if that one's tier 10 or not. That's tier 11. Tier 10 is from Icecrown Citadel. Oh. Tier 11. Okay, tier 10. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I should have some of that Scourge Lord. I definitely have some pieces of that. I'd have to see, like, which version of it, because I know there's, like, heroic. There's 3 different versions of the set, and they're all differently colored, I believe. Look at that. Death Siphon just popping me right back up to full health. Just a couple of casts. There we go. Undeath Carrier, another Grim Toll, and Heigan's Putrid Vestments, alongside 158 gold. I feel like in Ulduar, like, I go and I kill, like, 10 bosses, and I pretty usually get, you know, 2 to 3 BOEs. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I feel like I'm not getting nearly as many BOEs in here as I'm used to getting in Naxxramas. BOE epics, I mean, not the... I'm getting a lot of greens, but I don't particularly care about those. Wow, is the disenchant value really that low? It's just all gonna get vendored? 287, it says, disenchant value. Maybe my values aren't updated recently. Alright, what up, Loatheb? Alright, the main gimmick on Loatheb is this Necrotic Aura. It's a debuff he'll put on you. It lasts like 17 seconds or whatever. And he's just going to keep putting it on you again and again throughout the fight. But there'll be brief periods where it's not active. And then you can heal yourself during those times. Spore buff is another thing you get. Fungal Creep. That gives you a lot of critical strike chance. You see, pretty much all my attacks are crits now. So that's nice. I don't think I really even need to worry about healing myself. He can't really hurt me. Okay, Foot Wraps of Vile Deceit, Vanquisher, Shoulders, no battle pets. So let's see, we killed Gluth, we killed Maexxna, we killed Loatheb. Those are the 3 battle pet bosses. We did not get any of the battle pets. Let's see, last wing for us to do is Military Wing. That's southwest, I think? Yeah, southwest. Let's do it. See if we can get anything good. With how much stuff is dropping from the trash, it just seems like it's a good idea to mow down all the trash. And group it up and be a little bit more efficient with it. I'm not going to do these guys, though. These have a bunch of horses that charge, and I remember them being scary, and they're probably not scary to a level 90 character, but I'm still not going to do them, because I don't feel like it. Did you notice a difference on Saturday with the ability to find stuff, like groups? Yes. We just basically went in and out of 2 different groups. There were actually multiple groups I could have gone to on Saturday. So, yes, there were very obviously more groups and more activity happening on the weekend, which was, like, the whole point of me trying to start streaming on the weekend was better availability of pug groups. So far, there's this plan of shifting to a Tuesday through Saturday schedule instead of a Monday through Friday schedule. So far, it's going exactly as planned, which is what I want, you know? Let's hit a little protection ability. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit of this, that. This boss is a little spooky. He hits very, very hard. You're not really, like, supposed to tank the boss. You're supposed to mind control his ads and use his ads to tank him, which are way beefier than most players. But, yeah, whatever, we're okay. No Sundays? No, I still need, 2 days of break per week. Of weekend. Why is the DK female? Because we did a transporter and it gave us this debuff. It got mixed up with the last person to use the transport pad, so it changed us into a female Death Knight for an hour. Soloing that guy at 85 was much harder. I mean, I'm just thinking about when I soloed him at level 60 in Season of Discovery. On my rogue who just had 100% avoidance. That was good. I liked that one. That seemed pretty good. I just frost these guys. Run all the way in here. Pop that guy to start the fight. Finish these off. So in Season of Discovery, towards the end of it, you could get enough agility and defense on a rogue character that your combined chance to dodge, chance to parry, and chance for the enemy to miss you with a melee attack was over 100%. And you could also get some self-healing effects. These two things combined meant you could solo a lot of raid bosses. And like the highest tier, highest level raid bosses I was able to solo was, I was able to do Patchwerk, Razuvious, and Grobbulus in Naxxramas. Basically, if any boss like primarily attacked through physical attacks and had pretty minimal magical damage, then you could kill it on a rogue. Which is pretty stupid. I mean, the rogue was able to solo so many things. You could solo the first 3 bosses of Ruins of AQ in hard mode, so you could get the first hard mode chest that had 2 different rare patterns in it. So, like, you could solo farm your, like, flask recipes and leatherworking patterns for the, like, spell armor kit. You could solo Hakar hard mode in Zul'Gurub, which is really, really impressive, because then you could loot, what, 3 or 4 primal Hakari idols for the head and leg enchants that normally would require a group, and then you'd have to divvy them out between the group. You know, just being able to solo that, then you just have more primal Hakari idols than you know what to do with. That was great. You could solo Gar in Molten Core. I was never able to get Baron Geddon, but I was able to solo Gar and solo farm a Thunder Fury binding. It was pretty... I mean, I had a lot of fun with it, but also I feel like it was kind of dumb that you were able to do that. Oh, the way is open. Alright. No problem. Gothic will show up eventually, guys. Don't worry. This is a well-designed encounter that a lot of people really enjoy. Are you gonna play TBC again? I don't know. Originally, I kind of thought TBC would be fun to play again, but then I looked at how the anniversary servers were doing, and the anniversary servers are, you know, apparently more botted than possibly any other WoW server I've ever seen. The bots are just absolutely rampant, and the community appears to be just way more min-maxed and cutthroat than you know it was in 2019. Of like, you've got to be a warrior, you've got to be rank 14. If you're not those things, you know, you're not coming to this group. You know, that kind of atmosphere. And, you know, while I thought maybe playing TBC again would be fun, I kind of thought, well, you know, if we continue with, like, some of the worst levels of botting we've ever seen and this giga min-maxed community, it's probably not going to be very fun. So I'm leaning more towards no on TBC. Yeah, every cycle will be even more yeah, that I agree. That doesn't change the fact that that makes it bad or less enjoyable. You know, knowing that's true doesn't, like, change the reality of it. They probably need the bots because these fools aren't farming mats themselves to raid 4x a week. Yeah, I mean, I think the solution to that is, like, just make a bunch of the materials more easily obtainable. And like, you could do similar to what Sod did, which was, like, give a bunch of desirable materials for activities people wanted to do anyways. Like, they had the, like, undermine reels, and they had the crates. I think this was a good solution where, like, you get this currency for doing an activity you wanted to do anyways, and then it gave this, like, big boost of supply to, like, potions and herbs and black lotuses, so there was a way higher supply of those, which helped keep the cost of them down. Said earlier that if there's no hard mode, people will find their way. Yeah, but that's a different complaint to what I'm saying here. I mean, the impression I get from the anniversary servers is that of the people playing them, a larger percentage of them are people that are trying to do this min-maxing. And, like, there's significantly less players that are trying to play to have fun versus play to win. You know, that's different than what I was talking about before, Unicorn of Shame. I was talking about how, you know, yeah, whatever. That's a different conversation. So, I mean, I've played WoW in groups that are groups to win before. I played in speedrunning guilds. I've played in boss parsing guilds. You know, I've pushed, you know, heroic Lich King, you know, in the top 1 or 2% of the, you know, player base, getting that on week 5. Like, I've done that before, and, you know, pretty much ever since that... Ever since Heroic Lich King, I kind of realized that, like, playing the game in that way, playing to win, playing, you know, for performance, is just less enjoyable than saying, fuck Warcraft logs, fuck simulators, and let's play for fun. It's just, like, I don't care about that crowd of people. I don't want to associate with that crowd of people, generally, because I just find the game experience of interacting with them to just be, you know, more rife with drama and bullshit and, like, you know, high expectations, and then, oh, this guy's not getting, you know, not meeting expectations. Why is he still allowed to be here? I thought this was the, like, level of expectation we're supposed to be at. There are just so many problems with playing the game when you, like, unironically care about your, like, Warcraft logs ranking in fucking classic WoW. So, you know, on the anniversary servers, my impression is that a lot of people are people that unironically care about their, like, Warcraft logs performance type of player, and that's just a type of player I don't really want to associate with. So I kind of figure it might be harder to find a group of players who want to play the game for fun, you know? We gotta clean this inventory out again. Man, there's way too much crap. We loot way too much crap in this raid. I think if I was doing this strictly for gold, I probably wouldn't kill Kel'thuzad. Because Kel'thuzad has like a 3 or 4 minute intro sequence that makes him incredibly slow to kill. This boss, I should probably have done this before the boss came out, but this boss I think is probably fine. As long as you can skip the air phase, you're gonna go pretty quick. No, it's air phasing. No! I was close. Now I have to sit out this whole bullshit air phase. Actually, the air phase doesn't last very long. Because, she only ice blocks one person because you're the only one here and then just immediately does the breath. So it's not like you have to wait for, like, 5 ice blocks or something. There we go. Alright, we got anything good? Heroic Key to the Focusing Iris, Bandit's Insignia, and Noble Birthright Pauldrons. What are these? That could work for a Frost Death Knight. Kind of like faded light blue. That could work. I wonder what the total value of these greens are, because I mean, I'm gonna just disenchant them. Wonder if I should, I could calculate the value of them into our total outcome, I guess. Got so many. Obey the call of Kel'thuzad, he says. 16, 17, 18. Looks like 18 greens. What if we just Owling Blast one of the cubbies? Just to see what happens, just to feel alive. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. Wow, it one-shot the Soul Weaver that was in the cubby. Alright, that seems like that's not too big of a problem then, huh? Three Owling Blast clears out the entire cubby. Okay. Here's a Soul Weaver that's actually moving in. Man, if only these things dropped loot, then this could be a good farm. Man, if these things dropped loot, you could just farm Kel'thuzad, killing these over and over. But there's no way they would do that. That would be ridiculous. They made these mobs drop anything. Alright, any active Soul Weavers? This one active? No. This one's active. Alright, we got to the Kel'thuzad transition, finally. Frost Fever will kill that. Oh, wait, does having the ghoul up interact poorly with the mind control? I don't know. I'm just gonna unsummon the ghoul so I don't have to worry about that. I don't know for sure if it's a bad interaction or not. Oh, out of the void zone, please. Thank you. Not dying to that, hopefully. That would be really embarrassing. Anti-magic shell, because I didn't have my interrupt available for that one. Do a couple death strikes, heal up a little bit. Another void zone, get the hell out of there. Death siphon is what I meant, not death strike. Nope. I almost missed on that void zone. I was not paying attention for a moment. The dedicated few. Defeat the bosses of Naxxramas with less than 9 people in the zone. Yep, well, 1 is less than 9. So, there we go. 151 gold, Last Laugh Axe, Conqueror Crown, Calamity's Grasp. Okay, so we have to vendor a little bit more stuff, then we have to figure out the value of this, all the Frostweave cloth, and then I think I'll go and disenchant all of this stuff and see what the outcome, like, and then we'll just, you know, calculate in the value of those items too. This all gets vendored. This is a vendor also. Okay, let's Hearthstone. Let's process some of this loot so we can figure out how long we were in here. Or, not how long we were in, how much gold we've earned in here. We've spent about 49 minutes inside the raid since we started. Blasted Boy. Urgent. Disenchant. $18 greens. Whoops. That's my ult. It's my ult. It's my own character. I know it's urgent. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of work here. We have 97 Frostweave cloth at 22 silver each. Let's see, Frostweave cloth, 97 at 0.22 each. What else do we have? Zeliek's gauntlets at 100 gold. Zeliek's gauntlets. And what do we get? Inexorable Sabatons at 300 gold. Inexorable Sabatons, 300. Okay. That's that. Let's check. Let's see. We got to vendor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then our ending gold is 13,812. 13,812.1987. There. Now let's figure out how many enchanting materials we got. process that in, because we got so many greens. Like, when I do a raid and I get, like, 1 or 2 green, it's kind of, like, whatever if you don't count those. But if we're getting 18 greens out of here, that's a substantial amount, and we're going to take the time to count it. First, I guess we have to verify that all of these are profitable disenchants. Sometimes if the value of the materials is low, then they're not profitable to disenchant. So you want to search for dust, you want to search for essence, you want to search for shard, and you want to search for crystal. That's going to update the auction house add-on of the value of all the different enchanting materials currently. And you can see that, yeah, wow. Some of these ought to be vendored. So let's send them back. Looks like all the weapons ought to be vendored. And then probably all the other stuff gets disenchanted. That's a vendor. I'm just comparing the vendor value to the average disenchant value, and that's told to me by the add-on auctionator. And it's why I had to, you know, check the auction, so I got the current prices for a lot of those goods that they can disenchant into. Alright, so we could disenchant the rest. Be on average more value from disenchanting. So we got 36 infinite dust and 6 greater cosmics. So we can put that on the list. Insert. Greater cosmic essence 6. Infinite dust 36. The dust is at 2 gold each. The cosmics are at 48 silver. Wow. No wonder these are not good disenchants. 0.48 silver. Wow. There, that's taken care of. Now we do actually just have to vendor those other items because they ended up not being good, so that'll add a little bit more to the gold total, and then we should be done calculating stuff. Honestly, if you're not trying to calculate the exact value of all of this stuff and you just throw it up on the auction house, it takes way less time. But if I'm trying to figure out exactly how much value I pulled out of a raid and need to calculate it, it's way more time investment to calculate it out carefully. Okay, so now the new ending gold total is 13940.5578. So we did a 49-minute run, and we pulled 3,874 gold out of Naxxramas. So that is definitely worse than Ulduar 10 boss runs. Ulduar 10 boss run, I can pull around 4,000 gold, and it takes me about 40 minutes. Sometimes luckier and you get even more, sometimes less lucky and you get less, depending on what drops you get. But yeah, Nax looking like it's okay, but definitely not one of the best ones for raw gold. Which bosses do you not kill for the 10 boss run in Ulduar? In Ulduar, I would skip Algalon, Thorim, General Vezax, and Yogg-Saron. And then kill the remaining 10. That gets you all 3 of the mechanical bosses that you can salvage as an engineer for a lot of materials. It also gets you Freya, that you can get bonus loot off of Freya if you're an alchemist. So that's nice. But yeah, that's what I would do in Ulduar for more gold than this. But, you know, we might keep running Naxx just to, you know, acquire particular transmogs or things like that that are exciting. But gold-wise, it's acceptable, but not the best.